Okay, welcome to my final iteration of the Killing Floor 2 level for IGME 420 level design. My name is Matt Lienhard, and first of all, you might notice that I'm starting off this level in the editor. I just wanted to show it off real quick of how it's supposed to look. I ran into an issue with exporting where my terrain would not have its proper material applied in the actual game. So in the editor, the texture is applied to it. It's just a simple snow texture, but in the actual game, it goes to the default texture. So I just wanted to give a quick flyover of the map with how it's supposed to look with the correct texture applied. Just because personally I think it looks a million times better with the actual proper texture, and once you get to the actual game it just kind of doesn't look as nice. So here's just a quick fly through of what it's supposed to look like, and now we will switch over to the actual game for the demo. Alright, so coming in here, obviously first thing that's different is there's actually models and textures in here this time. So you start off in the base of the mountain, like usual. Simple player blind here to block sight lanes down that path. Zombies can spawn inside the lodge as well as around the corner, which is where those guys are kind of coming from. So while we're over at the lodge, I will give a quick demo of that while some of these zombies are walking around. So this is what the exterior of the lodge looks like, kind of a almost like a Swedish kind of European Alps kind of style to it, to fit the ski resort kind of theme. So if we go in here real quick, take care of these guys. The first floor is kind of like the dining area, eating area. You got a fireplace over here, some tables. And over in the corner is one of my mini narratives. So over here, if you look over, there's kind of this area with some like beds and boxes, some bottles, like a barrel fire. So this mini narrative is to kind of show that this was someone's last holdout, or just someplace someone was living to kind of hold out for the zombie apocalypse. Let me just stock up real quick, make this quick. Sure, sounds good. Okay. So I have some free time. Take a look at the second floor of this building. So upstairs again, this is a U shape, same shape from last time, except this time there's some benches in the way to kind of make the space feel a little bit more lively. We got some chandeliers with some lighting in here. These I think are in the game are actually supposed to be like torture devices, but they kind of look like skis, so I put them in there to, you know, it's a ski lodge. Usually they have skis hanging on the walls and stuff. So coming out from the top floor, you come out to the deck area at the top. This railing here is broken. There's a giant snow pile that you can kind of go down. And that is the lodge. Over here is another player blind, so block sight lanes down there to kind of close off the area. This building right here is the ski rental building. So this is just a kind of quick cut through. Not much in here. There can be a player spawn in here. Just kind of quick cut through. You got a little blocker in the middle to separate your path. And now we'll check out the right side of the map. So here's a player blind right here to block off the area, make the player actually move around, and also to prevent the player from just looking down this entire path all the way. Take care of these guys. So over here is my second mini narrative. Please go away, I'm trying to show off the level. So there's some snowcats over here, some abandoned snowcats. The headlights on them are, you know, kind of fading out. The battery's been here for a while. Doors open, which means someone was eventually in here, and this snowcat just kind of broke down. Someone had to evacuate really quickly because, you know, the zombies are coming. So this just kind of showed remnants of where someone was when they had to make a quick getaway. It also acts as a player blind, so you can't look down that way, and kind of gives you a block from up there. Again, trader right here, as well as a pickup that's over in that area. Take care of some of these guys. show the rest of it. So this is the right side trail. This is the heavily wooded area. So as you can see, there's a lot of trees around here, some big snowy hills on the sides. These trees are to block player sight lines, as well as, you know, just not have it to be a straight open area. You can actually move around a little bit. This is the frozen river that cuts through the middle and connects the trails over there. It runs outside the map. There's actually a zombie spawn outside of there, and they can walk through and come through here. This is a one-way wall, so zombies can walk through it, but the player can't, so it kind of keeps them in play. And going up to the top, conveniently, the trader is it up here? I think it is up here. Cool. So up at the top is the top lodge. There's two entrances. There's one in the front as well as one on the side. So I'm going to go in the side entrance right here. So this is the top lodge. There's a few player pickups. There's one in that corner as well as one behind the bar over here. You see there's some beer steins on the tables to show that, you know, people were once here. This was once a place for food. Some chandeliers, you know, some nice rafters. There's another trader over here. Just buy stuff real quickly. Alright, cool. And up top, there's a couple player blinds to restrict the path, make it not so completely linear. So this one acts to condense this area as well as block sight lines down the paths when you're coming out of that building. So we'll go down the middle trail right now. Also, as you can see, technically these are street lights, but I meant for them to be like the lights that would be on ski resorts on the slopes to light up some of the more populated areas. So as you come down this middle trail, it's a little bit more windy, a little bit more narrow. And up top here, there's a light post right here, some bright lights shown down that show that you can jump down here. If you jump down here, it'll take a little bit of your damage, so it offers risk-reward escape if you need to make a quick getaway. There's also a trader up here to encourage players to come through the middle of the map. This section right here is kind of like the terrain park of the mountain. So there's a little jump, there's a railing, you can, you know, do some tricks on it, do a little spin off. And again, coming down the middle is a jump, so you can jump 360, shoot them. And obviously a big player blind right here to block off the area. One of the things I was missing in the gray box was a lot of the player blinds. From the gray box, it was extremely open. You could see down pretty much all the lanes, and it was really easy to just sit back and snipe people. That has changed in this one. It's a lot more closed off. The lanes are actually separate. There are some longer sight lines, like, yeah, you can still kind of see down there. Yeah, you can see down this trail right here. You can see in the back there, there's zombies spawning from that spawn that's around the corner, and they'll walk through. See, they hop over. This river doesn't come from anywhere. You'll see that right over to the right side, these guys will leave me alone, is a little frozen waterfall coming down from the hill, showing that that's where the water came from, and it goes down and around the corner. So, say like you're being chased by a bunch of these guys, I'll show the drop up here and show how much damage it'll take. So it takes about 20 damage, or maybe a little less. That took about 11. There's a bunch of pickups along here. There's obviously one right there. There's some in the corners, some at the crossroads, a lot of the trails. And again, this main trail over here has some lights, since, you know, it is like the main trail of a ski resort. Obviously it would have a lot of lights in real life, since a lot of people would go down here. Player blinds along the sides, as well as a big rock formation there to block sight lines down that path. So again, you can't snipe people from across the map completely, as well as make the player actually snake around the map a little bit. So take care of some of these guys. And come down, we're at the bottom of the mountain. The last building is over here on the right, the big H. I was kind of looking for like going to be like a big like you know, medic sign, like a big cross, but I had to deal with an H, so you make it a little bit like a hospital. So this is the ski patrol for the mountain. So obviously there's a lot of gurneys, you know, some IV bags, and this also acts as another mini narrative of you know, when the zombie apocalypse happened, you know, some people died, some people needed medical attention. So since this is a medical facility, they, you know, brought a lot of people here. Some people died, which is why there's body bags all around. You know, things are kind of crazy. So that is the third mini narrative for the map. Take care of this guy. And that is pretty much the map. Again, I am a little disappointed that I couldn't figure out how to get the textures to export, because you know, it would look a lot nicer if this was snow and not just purple and white squares. So I have one more round left on the boss, so I can demo the boss round. So I'll just kind of shut up and play through the round really fast. You can just skip ahead to once I get to the boss and see how that plays out. Of course, it's taking forever to spawn now. Alright, so we're coming up on the boss round right now. So I'm going to go ahead and skip the trader sequence and we'll go into the boss fight. So the boss can spawn at a couple different locations around the map, so we'll see where he comes in right now. Okay, so he's up at the top corner of the map right now. So he's going to come from over here. So since it's the boss round, all the pickups spawn on the map, so it'll be pretty obvious where a lot of them are. Just get them right here. Ouch. I think personally, weapon styles, this map can cater to a lot of different play styles. I preferably like to do more long distance, kind of one-shot type of weapons, so this map definitely caters to sharpshooters and gunslingers, but there's also a lot of close quarter stuff, so things like inside the lodge or in that area up top where I just was, with a lot of tight turns. There's a lot of areas for variation, and pretty much any class can be successful here. Got some pickups. This should be his last phase, so let me just finish him off. So yeah, I think overall I was pretty happy with how the map turned out. Like I said, I just wish the textures would have exported to get that nice final polish. But overall, it definitely came a long way since the graybox with all the textures. I think one of my favorite areas is the lodge, just for how well that turned out, as well as this area over here. The nice woodsy feel, as long as the frozen river, the longer sightlines that get kind of blocked off with the trees is pretty nice. I'll just finish them off right here. So yeah, that was a full playthrough on my map KF Ski Resort. Again, my name is Matt Lienhard, and this has been for IGM 420 Level Design.